When someone asks how your day was, what do you say? Nothing special. A quiet shrug, a faint smile, as if ordinary means forgettable, as if a day has to be extraordinary to be meaningful. But what if that wasn't true? What if the most beautiful parts of life were never the loudest? We live in a world that celebrates milestones. The promotion, the wedding, the graduation, the goal achieved. We're taught to chase the highs, to crave days worth posting, moments worth remembering, highlights worth replaying. So we scroll through our memories like a reel of accomplishments, always skipping past the mornings that looked like every other morning. But here's a secret. Most of life is every other morning. Most of life is waking up to the same sun, brushing the same teeth, drinking the same cup of tea, walking the same hallway. And yet, within those repetitions is something sacred, something quietly alive, a gentle rhythm, a soft familiarity, feeling of, I know this moment. It knows me too. We forget that peace often wears plain clothes, that comfort doesn't shout, it hums. The truth is, the magic of ordinary days hasn't disappeared, just forgot how to see it. Not because we're broken, because we've been trained to expect more than enough, and miss the enough that's already here. This isn't about settling, it's about waking up to the quiet miracles that hide inside a simple Tuesday. The sound of the kettle, the feel of socks on warm floors, the way sunlight touches the wall at 9:14 a.m. Nothing special, and yet everything. You scroll through your feed, photo after photo, milestone after milestone, vacations, proposals, book launches, sunrise yoga in Bali, smoothies that look like galaxies. It's a gallery of peaks, a digital museum of look how good my life is. And you're standing there, holding a bowl of cereal and your old t-shirt on a quiet Tuesday, and something inside you whispers, shouldn't I be doing more? The world we live in doesn't just encourage success, it curates it. It selects the most photogenic moments, edits the lighting, adds music, and serves it as real life. But real life doesn't come with a soundtrack, or filters, or constant climax. Most of life is maintenance, laundry, groceries, washing dishes, waiting in traffic, paying bills, remembering passwords, wiping the counter again. But because these things aren't shared, they start to feel like failures, like you're missing something. Like your life is just the in-between scenes of someone else's movie. This is the cost of a highlight culture. It teaches us to measure our days not by how we feel inside, but by how impressive they look on the outside. And so we perform, even when no one's watching. Chase beauty, productivity, excitement, because we fear that stillness means insignificance. But here's the truth. A good life isn't made of highlights. It's built quietly, patiently, lovingly in the soft, unremarkable hours that no one claps for. The bowl of cereal, the walk with your dog, the sound of your mom's voice. It's the way sunlight lands on your desk. These aren't nothing, they're everything. The moment you stop performing is the moment you begin to feel them again. There's something sacred about doing the same thing every day. The same mug, the same window, the same walk, the same song that plays while you fold the same laundry. At first glance, it might seem boring, predictable, a life on loop. But when you look closer, something begins to shift. What you once called repetitive starts to feel like rhythm, like a heartbeat, like a steady drum. Beneath the noise of everything else, routine is often mistaken for a cage. But it can also be a container, something that holds you when everything else feels unsteady. Think about it. When the world is chaotic, don't you crave the comfort of what stays the same? The way your dog still wags his tail, the way your socks always disappear in the dryer, the way your plants need watering every 3 days. These tiny repetitions remind you that not everything is spinning. There's peace and familiarity, in knowing what comes next, in choosing to be present even when you've seen this moment before. Because this time, even though the mug is the same, you're different. You've grown, shifted, softened. The routine stays still, so you have something to return to while you change. Rituals don't need candles, or mantras to be sacred. Sometimes, sacredness sounds like the coffee machine, smells like laundry detergent, feels like a blanket you've used for 10 years. The sacred is not always spectacular. It's not always thunder and lightning. Sometimes it's silence and stillness. And putting the same book back on the same shelf every single night, we've been taught to romanticize change, but maybe what saves us isn't the next big thing. It's the quiet, reliable rhythm of the ordinary things that don't leave. We often think peace is something we have to find, like it lives somewhere far away, in a cabin in the mountains, on a silent retreat at the bottom of a plane ticket we can't afford yet. But peace doesn't live in the distance. It lives in the unnoticed, in the close, in the places we often rush past because we think they're too small to matter. Peace is not always a destination. It's a practice, a presence, a posture. It hides in the simplest gestures, in the way you wipe the counter while the kettle warms, in the sound of your own breathing after turning off the light, in the weight of a blanket that knows your shape. It's in the space between checking your phone and deciding not to, in the pause before you speak, in the moment you realize nothing needs fixing right now. The world has taught us to equate peace with escape, to believe that we must leave our lives to feel free. But what if peace isn't somewhere else? What if peace is waiting inside your rituals, already built into your day, like secret doorways you've stopped noticing? The way you chop vegetables, the rhythm of your footsteps, the scent of clean clothes, quiet sip of water when the room is still. Peace doesn't always announce itself. It doesn't need a big moment. It doesn't shout, it whispers. And if you're always running, you'll miss it. You don't need a perfect life to feel peace. You just need to pay attention to the life you already have. In that soft, noticing peace reveals itself, not as a prize, but as something that was never gone. Maybe peace was never hiding. Maybe we were just too loud to hear it. Some days feel like nothing happens. No big wins, no milestones, no revelations, just another sunrise, another cup of tea, another list of small, invisible efforts that no one claps for. And on those days, a part of you might wonder, am I stuck? Shouldn't I be further along by now? But here's the truth no one taught us. Growth is not always visible. The tree does not look taller every time you walk by. The flower doesn't bloom just because you're staring at it. And yet beneath the soil, roots stretch deeper. Quietly, slowly, without applause, without witnesses, you are no different. Every breath you take in stillness, every moment you choose rest over rush, every time you forgive yourself for not being more productive, something soft is healing inside you. We've been taught to equate growth with constant motion, but the deepest transformations often happen in the dark, in the quiet, in the nothing. It's in the ordinary pauses that your nervous system resets, that your mind unclenches, that your soul whispers, you're doing fine. Think of winter. The branches look bare, the trees appear dead. But deep inside, life is reorganizing itself, preparing, strengthening, becoming. You are allowed to have seasons like that. Seasons where you're not blooming, but you're not broken, just resting, just being. And even when you feel like nothing is happening, you are still breathing. You are still learning how to stay. You are still quietly, beautifully becoming. Growth doesn't always look like a breakthrough. Sometimes it looks like brushing your teeth even when you don't feel like it, or washing the dishes instead of numbing out, or simply choosing to keep going when it would be easier to give up. Nothing happened today. Look closer. You were patient. You were kind to yourself. You didn't run away. That's not nothing. That's everything. Presence sounds simple, but it's not easy, because we live in a world that constantly asks us to be anywhere but here. We're trained to live in anticipation. The next email, the next notification, the next milestone. We scroll while eating, plan while walking, think about tomorrow while brushing our teeth today. We've mastered the art of never really being where we are. But presence is a rebellion. It's refusing to abandon the moment just because it feels small. It's choosing to look up from the glowing screen and see the actual glow of the afternoon sun. It's listening when someone speaks, not to reply, but to understand. It's noticing how your coffee tastes slightly different today, how the floor creaks in that same spot, how the wind moves through the leaves, like a conversation you can't translate, but still feel. To be present is to become friends again with your senses, to return to the body you forgot you lived in. So many of us are waiting for life to feel meaningful. But meaning isn't always found in big answers. Often it's found in small noticing, the steam rising from your mug, the texture of soap in your hands, the laughter of someone you love drifting in from the next room. Presence doesn't require more time, it requires less rushing. It's not about doing slower, it's about being deeper. You can practice presence while folding laundry, while making toast, while petting your dog, hearing your own breath echo inside the silence. You don't need to find yourself. You're already here. You've just been too distracted to notice. So pause, come back, feel your feet. Listen to the room. Let go of the what's next. This is what's real. This is what's yours. Right now, not later, not someday. Here, this breath, this moment.
Ice.
Maybe today didn't feel important. Maybe it passed without ceremony. No confetti, no breakthroughs, no plot twist. But that doesn't mean it wasn't beautiful. Not every day needs to change your life to be worth remembering. Some days are meant to hold you, to cradle you, to whisper you're safe here. You made it. That's enough. This ordinary day gave you moments. Small ones maybe. Real. And real things matter, like the warmth of your tea, the quiet sigh you let out when you finally sat down, the soft weight of a blanket wrapped around your shoulders. You don't need more magic. You just need to notice the magic that's already here. And no, not every day will feel easy. Some days will ache. But even the hardest days are softened by the ordinary kindness you offer yourself. The choice to rest, to breathe, to listen, to keep going anyway. You've been told to chase greatness, but maybe greatness is a morning where you make your bed and smile at the light on the wall. Maybe the miracle is that you're still here, still trying, still loving, still noticing the world through tired eyes. That's not ordinary. That's sacred. So take this day, however simple, and hold it gently. It may not look like much. From the outside, from within, it's a quiet act of living, and that is always more than enough. Thank you for being here, for listening, for slowing down with me. Wherever you are, may you find beauty in the ordinary moments that keep choosing you again and again. This ordinary day is a gift, and so are you. This is quiet philosophy, where thinking isn't loud, and life doesn't need to be either. Subscribe if you haven't already, not for noise, but for something you can actually feel.